What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Blazers Uprise podcast. I'm your host, Tori Jones. Here with Eric Brandt, as always. Today, we got the last game before the All-Star break. We'll preview that. We'll do that towards the end of the podcast, but got to be off in 45 minutes because tip-off's like 5:05, 5:10. So, not going to be the longest podcast or anything, but we'll do picks against the spread, and then we'll preview that game and preview maybe the All-Star break a little bit, but that's going to be more Friday. So anyway, since it's past 4, let's just hop straight into picks against the spread. Let's hop into our records. So chat, congratulations. You guys passed me up. You guys are 3 games back from Eric. I'm 4 games back. You and Eric had a good Monday. I went 500. But we're all killing it for February. We're all looking really good. Wish I was actually putting money on this because I'd be making money, but just on these games in general. But we're all 10 games or more above 500, so that's pretty good, I think. So anyway, hopping into the first game of the night, you got Orlando versus Detroit. This already tipped off, so don't look at the spread or don't look at the score. Orlando's favored by 7.5. I'm taking Orlando. Detroit traded Andre Drummond. Detroit's a trash team. Orlando's at home. I'm going to take the Magic there.
But they have your boy Christian Wood.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Wood isn't LeBron James. So
I'm taking Orlando as well. Detroit's pretty much given up on this season. I think they're going to tank from this point on. And Orlando had a big win last. I forgot who they played, but one of the games we made picks on last week, they had a big win, so I'll go with them.
Yep, and make sure to leave your chats in the vote.
Leave your votes in the chat.
Chats in the votes in the chat. Yeah, this might be a little bit more delayed because I forgot to switch the latency, but it's all good. Anyway, I wish I could set like default setting for that. But anyway, I'm trying to make your thing take up the whole screen. There we go. Okay. Next game, we got Cleveland, Atlanta. Atlanta's favored by 2 points in Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland. Got Andre Drummond now. The Hawks still suck. Hawks have Clint Capella now. Now you have 2 good centers there on teams that didn't have good centers before. So, that's...
Is Capella playing? I know he's been...
Actually, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not up to date on this stuff, so I'm not up to date on injuries and stuff. But I'm gonna take the Cavs here.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Cavs. 2 crappy teams. Just take the team getting the points, playing at home. Yeah.
Hopefully, I tried switching the latency because for some reason I still had the option to, even though I'm streaming. I don't know if it did anything, though. Anyway, Milwaukee. Indiana is in Milwaukee. So you said Indiana's favored by 1.5 now?
They're favored by 1 now.
Okay.
It's throwing me off with how far behind.
So what I'm going to do, since I do the graphics like the night before, if it's in between the spread up here and the new spread, we're just going to count it as a draw. That way nobody gets screwed over by that. So, you can vote based off the new spread or the old spread. It doesn't matter, So anyway, with this spread, I'm still taking Milwaukee here, even without Giannis playing. That's why the spread is as close as it is. Giannis is not playing. I'm taking the Bucks still, though.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks as well. I think they're 5-0 this season without Giannis. They're kind of playing like Toronto did last year without Kawhi. And Indiana's been kind of hit or miss lately, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Yep, Bucks still got some talent there, man. It's not like there's some bad team without the Pacers. They're still well coached, so be interesting to see if they can pull this one out. Next game we got Knicks and the Wizards. Weird game here, 2 bad teams. The Knicks are favored by 2.5. The Knicks have been playing well lately, so I'm rolling with them. I think they just had their first 4-game winning streak of the season, so congratulations to the Knicks. I'm rolling with the hot team here. That's basically what you got to do when you got 2 bad teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to take the points. I'm going to go with Washington. I know New York's playing better, but they traded away Morris and Harkless isn't playing for them yet. So yeah.
Alrighty. Brooklyn, Toronto. Toronto's favored by 2.5. Oh, sorry. Toronto's favored by 2.5. In Brooklyn, I'm rolling with Toronto. They've won, 15 games in a row or something crazy. So I am a bit surprised the spread is
15.
so low. I'm taking the Raptors.
I'm also taking Toronto, and that's my double down pick for tonight. They're just playing too good. I'm going to ride them while they're hot.
It was hard to pick a double down pick today, to be honest.
Yeah.
This was a good one, but you already had this one, so I went with a different one. I almost went with I almost doubled down on my next pick. This game, Portland, Memphis. Memphis is favored by 4.5. I'm going with Memphis. Okay, so we'll preview this game, but they fourth fastest pace. Portland's looked tired last night, and now they play again tonight. The Portland's defense is still very, very bad. It still has transition defense is just abysmal for the Blazers. It's a problem, and the Grizzlies love playing in transition. So it's going to be hard it's going to be hard for Portland to keep this game close, in my opinion. If they play anything like last night, it will be a blowout. I hope I'm wrong. But this game seems tough to me. Anyway, what's your pick?
I'm picking the Blazers. No, I feel like Toronto is New Orleans is a really bad matchup for us, and I feel like Dame is going to have a lot more control of this game versus trying to go up against Drew, because Jaw's not a great defender yet, and Dylan Brooks isn't a great defender. Whoever they start at the 3, Kyle Anderson, whatever, is not a great defender. They have some shot blockers in the lane, but I just think Dame's going to have a lot more easy game than he had last night.
I'm interested to see D'Anthony Melton, because that was a guy I was always high on as a second-round pick, and he's actually panning out like how I thought he would right now. But as I said, we'll preview more of this game later. Minnesota and Charlotte. Minnesota is favored by 7.5. That spread got bumped up to 8.5. So if Minnesota wins by 8, then it'll just be a draw. But this game's in Minnesota going up against the Charlotte Hornets. I'm rolling with Charlotte. That spread's too high for Minnesota. You got D'Lo. Yeah, you got Malik Beasley. Yeah, you got Juan Hernan-Gomez there now, but still not that good of a team, and just too much of a spread. So I'm just going to take the points and hopefully play it safe.
They just announced that Cat is out tonight, too.
Okay, Cat is out?
Yeah. But the spread went up to 8.5, so which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't see. That's the type of stuff I can't keep up with these graphics, because the spread is probably going to get bumped down. So whatever the spread, I don't know. I don't know if that's too much for you, but whatever the spread ends up being, in between what's on the screen and what it ends up being.
I originally picked Minnesota, but once Charlotte, or once they announced Cat was out, I'm taking Charlotte in this one.
Yeah, it says Minnesota, but he's taking Charlotte. So we'll quickly get that off the screen. Dallas and Sacramento. Let me know if I'm going too fast for you. This game is being played in Dallas, and Dallas is favored by 8.5 now.
Yes, because Luka's playing.
All right, so if Dallas wins by 7 or 8, we'll roll with a draw. So they're favored. They're favored by 8.5. I'm still taking Dallas. With Luka playing, I think they blow out the Kings. Without Luka playing, I thought they beat the Kings by like 7, 8 points, 9 points, somewhere in there. So this is a pretty easy Dallas pick, because Sacramento's been really bad. They've been struggling.
Yeah, I just have a weird feeling that it's going to be a close game. That's why I took Sacramento.
I was surprised you took Sacramento. I was surprised when I saw it. I was like, oh, he's for sure taking Dallas here. And then I looked, Sacramento. Okay. At least he's still unpredictable a little bit. Anyway. Next game we got Phoenix and Golden State. Finally got the right logos for these teams to put up here. Instead of the weird ones I had before. Phoenix is favored by 7.5. I'm rolling with Golden State. Phoenix hasn't been playing well either. They just got blown out by the Lakers. This game is in Phoenix, right? Did I get that wrong?
It's in Phoenix, yeah.
Okay. I mixed it up on the slide and then I fixed it. So okay, and that's what confused me. So yeah, I'm taking Golden State. Last game before All-Star break. It's hard to predict the last game before the All-Star break for these teams because it's always kind of a wonky game. Some teams are just kind of like, okay, coasting into the All-Star break, and some teams are playing hard because their last game for 10 days. But I'm gonna take the Warriors here.
I'm actually gonna take. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Warriors too. I don't buy the Suns as a good team, so two crappy teams getting 7.5 points for one of them. I'm gonna take the Warriors.
Yep, play it safe.
Looks like chat's on Phoenix though.
Second to last game of the night, we got Miami playing in Utah. Miami has Jimmy Butler back. Therefore, I'm doubling down on Miami. They haven't been a great road team, but Jimmy Butler's back and fresh, and I think Miami's just a better team. Utah has kind of struggled. Sorry, I keep yawning. Utah has kind of struggled in the past 2 weeks. Miami has been competitive, even if games they've lost. They're competitive in Portland without Jimmy Butler. So I'm doubling down on Miami. I double down on Miami all the time, too. All the time. I think I doubled down on them on Monday. I probably doubled down on them like 5-6 times. Like almost 50% of the time I feel like I'm always doubling down on Miami. But usually it works out. Lately it's worked out. So I'm doing it again.
I am going with Utah. I just think Utah at home versus a bad road team. And I think most of Miami's guys that were out against us are still out, if I'm not mistaken. So
they only have 3 out, and Jimmy Butler's back. So,
yeah. But I like Utah in this game.
Yeah, I just think the road thing might be a little overstated with Miami. It might have been oh hell no. All right.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was loud, huh? Nice damn alarm that I didn't shut off. I'll shut it off right now. All right. I think the road thing is overstated for them, honestly.
But Carlos Cruz brings up a good point. Utah's got the refs.
True. It is 5-on-8, but I think Miami can win this game 5-on-8. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, last game of the night, we got Denver and Los Angeles. The Lakers are favored by 1.5 points. I'm taking Denver. This game's in Denver. I think the Lakers will kind of coast into the All-Star break. I think they won't be completely locked in because they'll coast into the All-Star break. You got 2 players from that team playing in the All-Star break. And it's in altitude in Denver. Denver kind of needs a win right now. They've been keeping pace with they've been injured, but they've been keeping pace in the West. They're 3 games behind the Lakers, so I think Denver's going to be really motivated to try and go catch a game on the Lakers, get within 2 games of the number 1 overall seed. So I think this will be like the games that Portland used to have, where you had where Portland would play Golden State the last game before the All-Star break and just play all out, play hard, and win a game like that. So I'm taking Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers. This is definitely one of the harder games to pick tonight. I just think the Lakers are a little better team and should get the win tonight.
Alrighty. I gotta stop yawning. My apologies. Alright, so that's picks against the spread. One quick little plug before we get into things. Patreon. I need to update this screen because I know we got Clyde's is a superstar now. He went from an all-star to Clay's. Oh, God. I say that every now and then. I usually get it right. Clay's has gone from all-star to superstar, so he, Dame was a superstar before this year, but he kind of had like a Dame-like jump there. You got Josh Sargent as one of our all-star Patreon donors. So if you want to appear on the show, then you can donate to our Patreon. There's more information there. The link is not in the description because I didn't put any links in the description. I'll put the link in the description right now. Patreon.
I have 3 games that are tied.
Tied right now?
With votes.
Oh, yeah. Tied with votes?
Could I just talk about them real quick? If anyone didn't vote on the Charlotte-Minnesota game, it was a 7.5 point spread. The next person who votes will be the tiebreaker.
Is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get through these tiebreakers. I can go back to these screens too. Oh, I took you off the screen. Crap, I forgot.
It's all good.
There we go.
All right, RIP Blazer
Actually, I was
votes
on
Nuggets,
Patreon.
so
No.
that breaks the tie of one of the games.
All right.
Mario Hazonia picks Minnesota, so and then Alex Mead picked Minnesota. I don't think he voted earlier. CR Slacker didn't vote earlier. That's Minnesota. And then the other game I need help with is Washington and New York was tied as well. So next person to vote on Washington and New York. New York's favored by 2.5 at home.
Alrighty. That's the last game to figure out, and then you gotta figure out the double down, and we'll be good to go.
I got the double down. No one took Brooklyn, so Toronto's the chat's double down.
Alrighty. It's actually a really good way to do it.
Alex Wolf says Washington, so we're gonna go with Washington for them.
Alrighty. So
and then Denver and LA. Someone said I just looked back. RIP Blazers had already voted, so I need one vote on the LA Denver game. LA is favored by 1.5.
Chat's
and then we're done.
Hard with the ties.
Yeah, a lot of votes though. So.
That's good, man. I mean, chat's been doing good. They've picked the pace up.
CR Slacker, I didn't see you vote earlier for the Denver LA Lakers game.
I'll just flip a coin if nobody else votes in like 10 seconds.
I don't. Okay, Tanner Gross says Lakers. They were the first one.
There we go.
Tommy Thompson, I'm pretty sure you voted already, man.
Alrighty, so picks against the spread out of the way. We'll see if you guys can catch up to Eric.
And Mario Hazonia, I know you're a burner of someone in here already, so you probably already voted too.
Anyway, okay.
What's up, Russell Westbrook?
So we got a game tonight.
Yes, we do.
That is an important game if we're trying to get the 8th seed, because we're playing the current 8th seed. And that is, of course, Memphis. Right now we're 4 back in the loss column. But with how bad these teams have been, might want to do it how many games back we are in the win column, or just go games behind. Because I always hear people talk about, like, oh, we're this far behind in the loss column, we're this far behind in the loss column. But normally that makes sense because, like, there's not many losses of the teams, like, for us and for the teams we're playing against. You know, there's twice as many wins. So since losses are rarer, losses are more important in determining, like, okay, how far back are we? But we're 500, so I think games behind is the proper gauge here. Right now I'm looking at the standings on my phone. We are 3 games back of Memphis right now. We're two back in the win column, so we win this game, we'll be 2 back at them going to the All-Star break. They have a very hard schedule for the rest of the year. We have a very easy schedule. We also play them 2 more times. So if we want that 8th seed, if we want that first round matchup against, it might not even be against the Lakers, honestly. I'm hoping Denver wins tonight and ends up 2 games back. I hope Denver makes that run to that 1 seed, because we've already shown we can beat Denver. And that was without Nurkic or Whiteside. That was with an Enes Kanter. So I'm hoping Denver wins tonight. I'm rooting for them. But how bad would it suck if Denver ended up getting the 1 seed and then we missed out on the 8? Like by like a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Especially if both LA teams were the 2 and the 3.
Mm-hmm.
So then if we won the first round, it would be you'd avoid either of those teams to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, we get like Utah or Houston.
Yeah.
You know, we've shown we could be very competitive with those teams. We got robbed on the road against Utah, and we blew them out at home. We blew out Houston the last 2 games, 1 on the road, 1 at home. So if Denver gets that 1 seed, everything changes, bro.
Houston would be such an interesting matchup with a healthy Blazers team this season if we had Nurk and Whiteside
Oh,
and
I
then
know.
they had no center.
Oh, I know.
It'd be
That would be
such a
insane.
drastic difference. And
It's whoever imposed their style of play more, or
yeah,
and also who plays better, Dame or Harden. But yeah, that would be a very interesting series. I'd love to see that series. I also feel like we haven't played Utah Utah in the playoffs in a couple decades at least. So like all the rest of the teams we've played in the last decade, other than like the Lakers, because we played Denver, we played them last year. We played the Clippers the year after Aldridge left. We played Houston a couple years before Aldridge left. We played OKC last year. We played Dallas first round when Brandon Roy had that game. I guess that was like a decade ago, but and we've played Memphis. So all the teams in the playoffs, we played Memphis the year Aldridge left, the year like right before he left. So we've played all these teams in the playoffs except for Utah. I found that interesting just because we've been in the playoffs a lot.
well, it's kind of funny. We used to play the Lakers every year in the playoffs back in the day, and it's been a long time since we did.
Yeah. So Utah's the only team we haven't played. It would be interesting to see that series for that reason. But I mean, this is just second round stuff. I would love for Denver to get the 1 seed because they wouldn't be as strong of a 1 seed as like the Lakers or the Clippers, in my opinion. I don't think Denver's that good. I think they're a much better regular season team than they are of a playoff team, and I think when healthy, we have the we match up with them well. So I'd love for Denver to go get that 1 seed, but we gotta get that 8 seed. So now I'm looking at Denver being 3 games back, possibly 2 if they win tonight. I'm a little bit more interested in that 8 seed, so I'm a little bit more into this game tonight because this is the one we need to get. Honestly, I think New Orleans will beat out Memphis, so it's more, okay, we got to beat out New Orleans. They're only a game and a half back of us, and they have the tiebreaker because we've lost to them 3 times, which is ridiculous. And San Antonio's a game and a half back, so we need a win.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, I feel like we're not going to slow down Ja Morant. We just saw a rookie go off against us,
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to eat up our pick and roll defense.
I'm guessing they're going to put Ariza on him, at least to start, and see how that goes.
Are they really starting Kyle Anderson lately, or?
I don't know. Their depth chart shows.
I'll look at the last box score. They started Kyle Anderson, who went 7 for 9, had 16 points, 5 rebounds against the Wizards. So what, you put Dame or CJ on Kyle Anderson?
I probably put CJ on Anderson or CJ on Dylan Brooks and Dame on Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do.
Brooks is kind of inconsistent. So I don't know if you put a good defender on him and try, and think that makes him have a bad game, or if you put a CJ on him and hope that he struggles, hope that he's having a down game. But his last 2 games, 4 for 12 and 4 for 17. So he's went 0 for 11 in his last 2 games from the 3-point line. So he's been in a slump. Even before that, 7 for 15, 5 for 14. He's kind of struggled with his shot. The game before that, the last game of January, 3 for 14. So this has been a 5-game slump he's in. I feel like he could just break out of it against us because it's us.
Yeah.
But
the one thing that I've been really impressed with Ariza is his ability to navigate through screens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I would put him on Ja, just to and we have a history of doing that with our small forwards, putting them on the best perimeter player on the other team. So I think that gives us the best chance to win, but we're going to get pick and rolled to death with whoever Whiteside's guarding.
Well, even we're going to get pick and pop to death.
Yeah.
With Jaren Jackson Jr. because Melo is not good at playing that. He's not good at playing bigs that can pick and pop. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is a 40% three-point shooter. So that's what I'm worried about is Jaren Jackson Jr. getting out there. If they guard Ja Morant with Trevor Ariza, Melo and Ariza are just going to switch that. You know
Yeah.
that's what they're gonna do, which makes sense because they're the same size defender, but they're not the same talent defender. You know, if you're setting a pick and roll, pick and pop, where the guy guarding the ball and the guy guarding the screener are both like kind of the same size and have the same defensive ability, same defensive attributes, it makes sense to switch because they're basically the same defender. So why not switch? It doesn't create a mismatch anywhere. The thing is, Melo, he's the same size, 6'8", 6'9", whatever, but he definitely isn't the same type of defender. Doesn't have the same attributes. He's nowhere near as quick as Ariza, and he doesn't have the energy that Ariza defends with. Which you could say Melo's old, but so is Ariza. So
Yeah.
but they're gonna switch that, and then I expect John Morant to try and take advantage of that mismatch, and we'll see how that goes.
Although none of this matters if we don't get back on defense because they like to run too. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at half court offense, but yeah, transition defense, we got to slow them up because there's multiple times yesterday where we were not getting out to shooters, and if we did, we gave up lanes. It was just miscommunication, just lack of awareness, just not locked in defensively. Also, a part of why we gave up so many transition points yesterday is shooting a ton of jumpers, and those long misses lead to runouts. And turnovers. Turnovers is the other thing. I was blanking on that. I don't know why. But turnovers, we can't turn the ball over. We have to, try and get to the rim, try and control the pace, slow down the pace a little bit. This is one game where I'm fine not really trying to push super hard in transition because I don't want to, because that kind of feeds into that up-tempo type of game, and I think Memphis is better suited for that. So.
Yeah, and the thing about transition defense too is we have 5 guys when the shot goes up. None of them are getting back across half court. So if there is a long rebound and they leak one player, no matter who it is, they're going to have a wide open lane or dunk, and that just can't happen in an NBA game. You have to designate at least one person, and if that person is the one shooting, you have to designate a secondary person. You might even not go for as many offensive boards as you would do against a team that's really good in transition. So, they just have to be aware of the situation in the team they're playing, and it didn't seem like they were like that at all last night. So it doesn't give me any I'm not really optimistic about them doing it a night later against a similar type of team.
That's why I picked Memphis and picks against the spread. Because John Morant pushes the ball hard, man. He's quick. He gets the ball. He just goes. He just goes. You have Jaren Jackson Jr. is decently athletic. He can run the floor. Dylan Brooks has been struggling, but he'll definitely be a shooting threat to watch out in transition because if he gets hot, he's a problem. And transition, I feel like transition threes are like as the easiest type of three to get hot off of, just like the rhythm of transition and getting into those threes. I feel like that's how teams get hot. That's how players get hot. Obviously you can get hot in the half court as well. I feel like it's easier in transition for some guys. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to get ran to death. You know what I mean? And we just got to play better defense. It's literally not even like something that you can break down too hard because we struggled in multiple areas defensively yesterday. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can nitpick any one reason, but it was multiple aspects of that side of the ball. It wasn't rotating, it wasn't getting out close now, and it was horrible transition defense. That's obviously the one thing you can point out. We got to fix that. During this All-Star break, during the practices leading up to the first game out of the All-Star break, we need to be working on that. The first game out of the All-Star break is against the Pelicans again. We need to be fresh defensively. We need to figure things out defensively because we haven't fixed the defense yet at all. We've fixed the offense. The offense has been great. That's why we've been on this run. But the defense, we have not – I feel like we haven't made any progress. You know what I mean? I feel like we're not any better now than we were before the Ariza trade. So that's something we got to make progress on. If we're really trying to make a run at this A seed, if we're really trying to win a first-round series, we got to be a better defensive team.
Absolutely. And for those asking, Little and Hazonia are both out tonight. That we have 8 days off between games after this, so I expect both of those guys to be back whatever our first game is. I think it's that Thursday after the All-Star break. So I expect a pretty healthy roster, and it should be close to Nurk returning too, hopefully. But never know with the Nurk and Collins situations. But Hazonia and Little are definitely out tonight. Should be back next game.
Yeah. Mario says, "How about a game you watch? How about a stream where you guys watch the game together?" I watch on YouTube TV. Eric watches on cable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the timing of that would be like 20, 25 seconds off. So that wouldn't work. If I was on cable, then yeah, I could maybe try that. But I'd have YouTube TV, so it's a little bit delayed. So that's the problem. That's what I've always said in the past too. Bright side is that the Grizz don't have a defender like Drew Holiday, says Russell first round exit Westbrook. Yeah, so hopefully Dame can get going. That's my hope, But we scored 117 against New Orleans. I don't think the offense is the problem.
Yeah, I just think Dame's going to control this game. That's why I picked Portland, because they don't have a defender that can slow him down. It's not like years past where they've had a Conley who's given Dame some trouble. So yeah, I do like Dame in this game, and when he's going, we always have a chance to win, and that's why.
That's the problem. Good. We're gonna have to score 125 points to win this game. You know what I mean? Dame's gonna have to play great, and even if he does play great, we still could lose if other guys don't play great because our defense is not going to win the game for us. And it's probably not going to help us win in any aspect. So,
but that's what we were doing when we won 7 out of 10. We were just outscoring teams. It's not like we were playing good defense in those.
I just think Eric doesn't have YouTube TV, right? You have to pay like $50 a month for I don't know to have YouTube TV and cable because Ben P said, Eric, could you sign to your YouTube TV?
He's saying sign into yours, so we're watching it at the same time is what he's saying.
It would probably kick me out. But then you guys would be ahead of us and anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Dame's kind of hot stretch is over. It's kind of worn off. Obviously he's still Dame, so he can start back up anytime, but he's kind of, I don't know. Drew was a tough guy to go against. He's kind of cooled off a bit. So yeah, he could go back to having a hot streak and have a great game, but every time he has a hot streak, it seems like it's followed by like a little bit of a slump. So I feel like he might be, entering that slump a little bit, which perfect time to, we have the All-Star break next, so he can rest and relax. I just think Dame's he's worn out, he's ridden the hot wave or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it, but he's ridden that wave till it's crashed. It was a pretty big wave, but.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with that a little bit in that I saw like it just seemed different when he was going on his hot streak. Like he was more confident with his deep shot. Just the way teams have to guard him now is different with how he's extended his range so much. And he was getting by Drew yesterday. He just wasn't getting any calls. He wasn't making any lay-ins. So I think it's something to where he's not struggling. It just didn't all click for him in that game. And it's tough when a team sells out to stop you.
Yeah, but I mean,
I just don't think Memphis has the same capabilities to stop him that New Orleans
does. But the man isn't going to keep averaging like
40 that's of
whatever
course.
Points a game, I mean.
But he's had 3 games of.
But he's needed to do that for us to win these types of games. That's what I'm concerned about. So I'm not expecting him to do that. Yes, he could easily do that. I wouldn't be shocked if he did it. But I'm not expecting it to happen. I'm not, you shouldn't expect Dame to go out there and score 42, 43 points. I feel like fans have kind of gotten spoiled lately and they expect it and they're like disappointed when he has 34 or something like that, which is insane if you really think about it. Because imagine if Dame was averaging 34 points per game. I mean, think about it. Think about his averages. Because people are like, oh, he only scored 30 tonight. Yeah, think about he's averaging 30 points per game. We're talking about how great of a season he's having. Because he's averaging 30 points per game. But then he drops 30 and fans are like, eh. But yeah, so it's I don't know. I expect him to have a decent game. I expect him to have, maybe a 30-point game, but it's tough seeing that as enough tonight. You know, it's tough seeing that is enough to get the job done against
Well,
this team.
it kind of depends because a few of those games where he scored under 40, he had guys like Trent step
Mm-hmm.
up. Ariza had a good game in there. Um, so like if he gets contributions from other players, that's fine. But like last night,
Yeah.
Trent really struggled, and that kind of having anyone on the bench. I know the bench ended up scoring a lot because they played the whole fourth quarter, but
Play more Gabriel. Free Gabriel. The thing is, when you get actually, I'll get into the. I'll get into something before Wenyon and Gabriel. Okay, I wanted to talk about Melo. I don't think Melo's gonna be one of those producers that helps Dame tonight, just because he has a really tough matchup. He has Jaren Jackson Jr. to go up against, who can play on the perimeter, can stay in front of Melo. My mic stand's falling over. I need to fix it. Jaren Jackson Jr. can defend the perimeter, but then you don't want Melo isolating Jaren Jackson Jr. in the post facing up. Jaren Jackson Jr. will block his shot. He's like 6'11" and athletic and he has like a crazy wingspan. I don't know what his wingspan is, but I think it's like 7'4", 7'5", right? And he's a quick jumper. Jaren Jackson Jr. I think is a very tough matchup for Melo to go up against. I don't think Melo will be able to isolate out of the post. So that's another thing that worries me about this game is, will Terry Stotts do what he's done lately and run like 12 to 15 Melo isolation pull-ups this game? Or not isolation pull-ups, isolation possessions. Because I feel like we've been running more and more and more Melo isolation. Am I wrong?
Well, I think because what happened in the Miami game was that Melo was setting the pick on whoever guy was guarding Duncan Robinson and getting him to switch on him, and then he would do that. But in the second half, they stopped switching and they had like Crowder on him, which is much tougher to post up. So what my guess is, they'll have Melo involved in the pick and roll first and try to get like Ja or whoever's guarding Dame to switch off of him. And then they'll post up Melo. But yeah, it's doesn't seem like the best strategy right now.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Melo's been selling for that mid-range jumper. If that's against Jaren Jackson Jr., possessions like that are not going to help this team win this game unless Melo gets crazy hot and hits some of these shots, because they're going to be hard to get off. So he's going to have to contour a little bit. He's going to have to work harder to get these shots off. That makes those types of shots harder to make. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a Melo going up against Jaren Jackson Jr. isolating in the post or isolating facing up, that type of stuff. But I want to talk about Wenyon Gabriel as well. That dude needs to play more. I've been saying it. I like the way he looks. You know, I feel like he could be, you know, if he had a little more confidence, he could knock down threes at a decent clip and just be a helpful player. But like tonight with this matchup going up against, I don't know if Jaren Jackson Jr. plays center with the bench unit or Brandon Clark, but both bigs are very mobile. Both bigs are athletic. Brandon Clark is more undersized. He's 6'8", compared to Jaren Jackson, who's bigger. He's 6'11". But either way, you know, we're talking about more mobile bigs. Play Wenyon Gabriel as the backup five. You need some mobility there, right? You need some energy to match what the Memphis Grizzlies are bringing to the table with that bench unit, because Valanciunas doesn't play the whole game. You know. You need to play the mobile big who's just, I think Gabriel's a better player than Swanigan. You know, I've actually been okay-ish with Swanigan. You know, his energy and looks a little quicker. He has a lot more energy than he used to have, but he's still just not a good player, and he's still too immobile. You know, he's still too immobile. So I think you need to play the energetic mobile big against teams that have energetic mobile bigs off the bench.
If Swanigan plays at the power forward, I'm going to break my TV tonight. Like,
God, man.
It's just inexcusable to have him and Whiteside in the game at the same time, especially against a team like last night against New Orleans, or a team like this against Memphis who are good in transition and push the pace. Like, that's like the worst possible thing you can do. And I don't understand why Stotts keeps going back to it after it's not worked time and time and time again.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know if he thought last night that since Swanigan's a little bigger that he could guard Zion or something, but he's not quick enough to guard Zion. So that was a disaster. And they got like 5 open shots in a row after we went to that. It was so frustrating.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Even against big teams, it still doesn't make sense. I don't know why you'd want to play Swanigan that much anyway. I know we don't have necessarily Little right now, but we have just go play Wendy and Gabriel more. Stotts. That's gonna be the new guy that Stotts hates to play, and will only play if he has to, and won't play more than 10 minutes a game. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. I mean,
And Jason Joseph asked why we didn't start Wendy again after the Lakers game. It's because Melo missed that game, and there's no chance they're not going to start Melo.
Yeah, Melo missed that Lakers game because he was grieving over Kobe's death. Understandable. Speaking of Melo, Keep Portland Melo hoodies are available now. BlazersUprise.com/merch. All right. 3 days left of those. They'll be up Friday, and then they're gone. Okay, so I need to purchase one for the guy that made the design, but would like to see a couple more people be wear one of those. I don't know. Worked a little bit on the design with Anime Jake was the guy, so gotta get him one for free. Anyway. I think we're about ready to sign off here. We got 5-10 minutes before tip-off. Tip-off's usually what? 5:05, 5:06, 5:07, sometime in there.
It's about 10 after, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Black Rock because I'm watching the game at Black Rock. I'm getting out of this place. Going to go get an energy drink because I'm a little my throat's a little sore. I'm a little tired right now, so I want better energy on the post-game show.
Cleveland and Orlando are both up double digits already.
Cleveland,
and Indiana's up double digits already.
Indiana versus Milwaukee.
Yeah, Indiana's up 23-11 right now.
Wow, Milwaukee. Wow, man. Indiana's been struggling. All right, but that Cleveland pick looking good for me. We picked all the same teams on those games anyway, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did Chat match our picks on those games?
Chad actually took our Atlanta.
Oh.
So.
Chat staring in the face of an L. So anyway, yeah. I'll definitely be paying attention to that Denver Lakers game tonight as well. And I'll be live tweeting as always. So actually that game will be going on during our post game show, so we can maybe keep everybody updated with that because that's an interesting game for the Portland Trail Blazers' sake. So anyway, with all that said, that's a wrap for this podcast. We'll catch you guys tonight with the post game show. So as always, peace out. Go Blazers.